know. This is everybody GOAT.
Oh, God.
But it's not my GOAT.
Oh, my God.
Tom Brady is not the GOAT.
Oh.
He is great, but he is not the GOAT.
Explain.
You got to explain yourself on this one.
All right.
Because do we have a consensus in the room that Tom Brady is the GOAT? NFL quarterback, the GOAT?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I just want to make sure we
I was about to say, I don't have a GOAT for football because it's too hard.
Okay, that makes sense.
You got to do it by like position.
Okay.
So if you're talking about quarterback, he's still not my GOAT.
So he's not your best quarterback ever?
No, because
Sheesh.
let me start off with this.
Sheesh.
His first 3 Super Bowls, he was not the focal point of that team. All 3 of them Super Bowls was won by a last-second 40-yard field goal by Adam Vinatieri.
So you said Adam Vinatieri to go?
I mean, he might be the most clutch kicker.
No, Adam Vinatieri like to go for real, right? Yeah, he go for real.
Swag.
He got the most points. Adam Vinatieri got the most points ever, right? In the NFL?
Swag. Real talk.
They don't even look at me.
Swag.
3 episodes.
Swag. In the history of all history of football, when has the quarterback never been the focal point?
It was those first 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots. It was the defense and the running game.
I only can name one person in football history that won a Super Bowl that wasn't the focal point. That was Trent Dilfer.
Brad Johnson.
With the Baltimore Ravens when they had that great defense.
And he had Brad Johnson with the Bucks.
That's 2.
Now if you're talking about the Seahawks Super Bowl.
Falco.
Yeah, but Falco, no.
I mean, Flacco.
Flacco had a home.
It did.
Flacco got a can.
Now, Super Bowl he won against the Seahawks, Tom Brady was slicing that defense up. I give him credit for that.
But he got 7 Super Bowls.
Wait, 7 right now? This shit was 7?
7.
Okay, so right. I was just thinking, okay.
I'm going to break all of them down.
Go ahead, bro.
And then the one against the Falcons, he did that. That was legendary.
I just want y'all to know this is talking. It ain't. Go ahead.
And then the other one, against the Rams, that was so mid. He did not win that Super Bowl.
The first one?
No, the one against the Rams.
13-3.
Oh, a few years ago.
Yeah,
that was a white Super Bowl.
All right, it was.
Like, he didn't even have a passing touchdown.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
But he played good, though. He played good.
He had 7 rings. 7.
All right. And then the recent one, he played really good.
Okay.
But he wasn't like the GOAT status in that Super Bowl.
Welcome to episode 3. The Evergreen Podcast. The voice that you just heard is Darius Jackson.
He get too much credit. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm saying is what quantifies to be the GOAT of all? Like for you to be the GOAT of football, like quarterback wise, what else more does he have to do?
I mean, number
does
one.
Does he need to go to the NBA right now and win the NBA Finals?
No.
What is it? He need to go shoot it for the Clippers real quick?
The money to win
For me.
Top 20?
The money to win the Masters.
Like for me, like
Wimbledon?
Like for me, like I really don't have like a GOAT quarterback because I don't think we've seen it yet. Because every time, like for me, like a GOAT quarterback is a dude that's mobile. But we ain't seen a GOAT mobile quarterback yet.
So you're saying you think there's going to be somebody better?
Yes. And I think we're kind of looking at it now, but I just don't know yet.
Who?
I mean, you got Mahomes, but it's too early. It's way too early.
Okay.
And you got guys like him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I get what
you know what though? He may have I'm not saying.
No, when I look at Mahomes, bro, when he said Mahomes, I start thinking. Once again, it's like talking that.
Mahomes being the GOAT.
Right.
But
right.
If he keep doing like he would, like for the rest of his career, for like 15 more years, it's crazy.
They paid him enough to do it.
But think about it. Mahomes was offside away from going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. He beat Tom Brady 2 years ago. But D4 jumped off sides, remember?
Yeah.
And got Tom Brady extra possession and went down and scored.
But Tom Brady won it, right?
He did.
He beat him.
No, I'm not no way agreeing with Swag about this at all.
Tom Brady won that game, and Tom Brady just beat him again in the Super Bowl.
Hey, this is why this is gonna be evergreen, because we're really gonna have this conversation. This is really gonna be a live conversation. Because I thought he was gonna say something about Belichick and saying that it really wasn't that great a thing because it's a system.
I mean, some people call Brady assistant quarterback. I don't go that far. I mean, technically, like a lot of quarterbacks are assistant quarterbacks because like quarterbacks have a certain system that fits them.
Right.
But like I
And
don't.
you see some change teams that do better. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Right.
Yeah, I don't think Brady's like like this template game manager type guy. He was a little bit at the beginning. That's why I think he get too much credit for the first three because he was kind of.
So you think the first three Belichick should get the credit for him?
I mean, it was the defense and the running game.
The team, okay, defense running game.
Like when you look back at that offense.
So you're saying you could have
They were running
okay?
two
So here's what I'm saying.
receivers and a tight end.
Here's a good question, Dante. You ready? Dante said he checked out. Dante don't gonna talk about
Those first six
something.
components, he had a fullback.
I got a question. So you telling me? So do y'all think? On his premise, we obviously we don't agree, but on his premise, I'm just trying to have a conversation. So on the premise, you think you could have took Tom Brady out of there and put another quarterback in there?
What?
Take Tom Brady out and put Matthew Stafford. They win?
What, the first six Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Probably so, yeah. Probably
So you take Tom Brady out and put Matthew Stafford and they win them all three of them.
Probably so. But it depends though, because they wasn't asking a lot from Brady.
Right.
But like I ain't saying he didn't do his thing because he did his thing. I'm just saying like it was the running game and the defense that was winning them Super Bowls.
At this particular track, we're going to talk about this first. We talk about this, get it over with, because we kind of talked about it last episode, and I really been thinking about it, right? And you know, we talking about the bus or not. That was the name of episode 2. We talking about can we call somebody a bus, right? And different things. I know you was looking up that who won that battle before I move on.
Oh, RG3.
Oh, who was the second then?
Andrew Luck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Trent
Yeah, he wasn't.
Trent Richardson.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Monty Ball.
He wasn't beating none of them.
Nah.
No, wasn't he up for 2 years though?
No, just a sophomore year.
Okay. Yeah, he wasn't gonna win those. Not for a quarterback.
No.
Yeah, because his freshman year, Cam Newton won that, so.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, RG3 was balling. RG3 was balling and Luck was balling. They were balling, so I give it to them. Yeah, it was a tough year, man. Tough year for them. All right, so we talking about busting now, all right? So I got a couple scenarios, all right? Because I remember everything. So, and once again, I know we got to where we say, you know, we're not attacking people's character and doing stuff like that. So that's dope. So the premise was, and this is a good question, all right? So what the premise we got to, and I agree with it too, was that if they secured the bag, right? I think it's something we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But if they secured the bag, right, then technically it's successful. We did the numbers and everything. You make it to the league, and everybody got there, right? So based on the bag conversation, the money. So if they got the money, you can't really if they made it, they successful. Now you can't really call them, right? Do we call somebody a bust if they go broke? All right, perfect example. I'm gonna give you an example. Ready? And y'all gonna probably cuss me out when I say this. And I don't think he broke, but he like way in debt. Is Adrian Peterson a bust? Based on that, and this is a conversation I have it in my head because I gotta find out. Well, yeah, he was in a lot of, he's in a ton of. He owed a lot, and it wasn't. It's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
It's bad dealing with, I think, accounting and stuff like that too. So it's one of those things. But still, we see the 30 for 30s and different things like that. Do we? What we call that? No, we'll never call him a bust because he's a dog.
Right.
Which gets me back to another. Well, go ahead.
I don't consider if a guy makes a lot of money and then loses it, I don't think he's a bust. I think it's just a lack of knowledge and a lack of resources, and I mean resources, people around him to educate him how to handle his finances. Like a lot of times, look, for me, if I was in that position and at 20 years old, 21 years old, somebody here's $10 million, you never had that amount of money in your life.
Nothing closer.
And the thing about it, I think these guys get smarter nowadays. They have people, before they get this money, tell them, look, these are necessary steps that you have to do. Like a guy like Adrian Peterson, nobody told him what to do with that money. Nobody told him, look, this is how much you need to save.
The AP goes in the league, I'm actually a bunch of stats right now. But AP gets drafted, look it up over here. Let's see.
But no,
07, huh?
I mean, you got
2008.
you gotta look at people like Michael Vick.
Here's another one I was thinking
Right.
about.
You got he signed $200 million contracts in his career.
That's 07.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
But because of people he put his trust in, robbing blind.
Right.
I forget the woman's name. She was his financial advisor.
and she gypped him. Like, I mean,
Yeah, straight up, ain't know what to say,
ain't
right?
no other way to say it. She got him out of his cash.
Right.
Clinton Portis
another one. Shows Drake, right.
Clinton Portis had a story like, yo, he was waiting outside of that lawyer's office with the bang on his lap.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when do we start or stop holding athletes to a higher standard? Because every human being has made mistakes financially.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's made mistakes financially. Now these guys accumulate a lot of money within a split second.
Right.
Now most of us in here didn't accumulate money like boom,
Right.
like a blink of an eye.
Right.
But everybody here may have made some mistakes financially.
May have.
May have, you know. Still have. You know what I mean? I think that it's just on a bigger scale and it's publicized. So when it comes to that, I think for a guy like on the last episode we talked about it. I don't think it's such thing as bust. If you make it to the league, you've made it.
Right.
Now, when it comes to financing and guys losing their money, I think that's a lack of knowledge, and they don't have the right people in their corner, like Dante said. That's
I remember you told us too. Yeah, I was always asking questions about places that I haven't been. I just be interested from behind the curtain. We talked about that in the first episode. So I remember you mentioned one time too that sometimes they have programs for those guys when they come in.
Yeah.
The NFL will provide
Rookie symposium.
certain people. Yeah.
It's trash.
Oh, so talk about it. Talk about it.
It's trash. Like, so the rookie symposium is trash because now it is. Now it's only for drafted players. Only for drafted players. So if you're undrafted free agent, you're not going.
Wow.
So it's only for drafted players, and it's a 2-day or 1-day event. I could be wrong. Don't care because it's trash. So they get these former players that come up there, right, and talk to them about the mistakes they made financially, mistakes you shouldn't make, things that you shouldn't do. At the same time, like, these guys are 19, 20 years old. They're not trying to hear that. So it's just like, I get math or algebra. That was one of my toughest subjects in high school.
Right.
If I didn't constantly get tutored and learn how to do an algebraic equation,
right.
I was going to struggle. Mm-hmm. You can't talk to these kids for a couple hours and think they're going to get it.
So it's just kind of like just to say we did.
Man, boys, look, they'll sit there and listen to you, man, and walk out and go buy 2 or 3 cars the same night, the same day. And so I just think, I heard Jacob Hester was talking about this too in his radio show about, you heard about that?
That's what I saw you was talking
like
about.
how like people struggle when ball is over with, and the NFL does nothing
Bro.
to help these kids out. He said that he even know about programs that they have because they don't talk about it. They only focus on the bottom line, making money, and what benefits the NFL and what doesn't benefit the player. That's the only thing they think about. And nothing benefits the player, everything benefits the NFL. But let me tell you something, that's gonna come back and bite them in the butt.
I think
It's coming, and it's gonna bite them in the butt because now these players are getting more leverage, they're getting smarter, they're getting more creative, and it's gonna come to the point where NFL is gonna end up being like the NBA. The players are gonna run this league.
How you gonna tell them think about Brandon Marshall?
Oh yeah. He
don't get nothing.
Yeah, he was mad.
No, but I see it shifting. Mm-hmm. And simply because, I know something else about football, and they used to talk about it. I forgot who said it, one of the athletes said, you didn't really, the advantage that a lot of NBA athletes had over NFL athletes too was imaging. You could see them so much.
Yep.
You could see their faces, whereas football, you can't really see what somebody looks like until they do an interview. They're not doing an interview with them unless they ball out in that game or something like that. But now it's more and more social media, more and more visibility. So that's where your leverage comes, because who's paying for these tickets? Fans. Who's watching on these stations? Fans. You know what I'm saying? So I just think they have to be smart on how they leverage it over time, and I think it's gonna have to be a corporate effort of everybody.
See, that's a common misconception too. Fans, listen closely. Your $70 ticket does not pay the starting quarterback salary.
Not at all. Not at all.
right.
Talk about it.
So just stop it. If that stadium was empty, right? You know, I'm a Saints fan, so you know, in the 90s before we like, yo, we were wearing paper bags on our head, and the stadium was empty.
Wow.
And guess what? Everybody still got paid.
Everybody got paid on
You know
time.
why? Because their money comes from television deals.
On time.
It doesn't matter if the Saints game got blacked out. That's the reason it got blacked out. Didn't have enough people to show it on TV.
Right.
But guess what? They still got paid. The game got played. They got paid.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So just we can please stop that.
Yeah, stop acting
that
like you're
narrative.
the boss.
You're not the boss because you bought a ticket.
Because you bought a ticket.
The boss is sitting in a box, or not even at the game. I mean, like
There's so much more to it.
so just stop it. CBS paid for their salary. Fox paid for their salary.
Right,
ESPN paid for their salary.
TV deals, and they get their money from advertising.
Not Joe Public. All right.
Nah. So back to the bus. So I got another part to it, okay? And I know this is cruel. This is cruel. What I'm about to say. This is cruel. But do you call our is it I won't call them a bust. I'll say, is it a bust-like situation? Let me ask like that. That's good. If you have a player that was expected to do great things, but then it gets cut off by injury. Like, for instance, I'm using basketball, right? Brandon Roy. Y'all know Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy, monster. Like, if Brandon Roy keeps playing, I don't know what we're going to call him. Because conversations are different. Conversations will be real different about who's who or whatever. But he has a knee injury. Tries to come back, but it just don't let him come back and play. You know what I'm saying? He makes money. He made the money. He got paid the big bucks. You know what I'm saying? But we can go down the list. Chris Webber. We can go down the list. Grant Hill. We can go Penny. We can go Greg Oden.
Bo Jackson.
You know, Bo Jackson. That we keep going. Is that a bust-like situation?
Jay Williams.
So I think we're overcalling somebody a bust. We're consensus on that, right?
Yeah.
Are we not? But a bust-like situation, right? Would that be considered a bust-like situation? I know it's out of your control, but if I'm an owner, if you're an owner, and I spent, you still gonna get that money, and I spent that money in expectation of getting, 5 years out of you or whatever.
I mean, if you come in, I mean, if the player comes in overweight and gets hurt,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
that's a bust. That's
Right.
a bust like situation because you didn't handle yourself like a professional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you come in overweight or you come in underweight. I mean, that's one that a lot of people don't talk about. You come in
For
underweight.
example, be like kind of like Lindell White was.
Yeah.
Like kept fluctuating.
Like you couldn't hit a target. Like, so we don't really know what we can do with you.
I thought Embiid was about to be there in a minute because they kept on talking about how bad he eat.
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
you gotta look
Take
at
that
what his
stuff.
injury was too. He had a foot injury.
Right.
You can't run with a foot injury. I mean, unless you get in the pool,
Right.
getting in the pool and taking the weight off,
Right.
you can't really run with a
Right.
foot injury. So, I mean, I'm not excusing it, but I mean, there's reasons
Right.
sometimes that players can't come in overweight.
Right.
But like you said earlier, when you give a guy, if a guy comes in underweight or overweight, it's about the money they get up front. So the money that they get up front, a lot of times they may think that they made it. Mm-hmm. Dante, like you talked about it. Look, I worked 12 years. I set my family up. I set myself up. I got generational wealth. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not doing nothing else. Mm-hmm. Can you really fault them for that? As far as expectations, who is giving them these expectations? So they're their own person.
That's a
So
conversation.
I'm a firm believer. Like you do what you make you happy. So if somebody cut me a check for $30 million, Ben Simmons, every year, and I just feel like, I'm not working on my jump shot, I don't have to work on my jump shot. Now, from a fan perspective, we upset because we never made see the full potential in that person. But at the same time, mama, we made it.
Yeah.
Mom, we made guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
I mean, it's America still, right?
You all right? This is America.
It is the American dream
So-
to get paid handsomely to not do a thing. That is the American dream. You can say what you want.
So
The American dream is to get paid very handsomely for not doing
For not working,
no work.
everyone was right. So his thing. So athletics, we like athletics. I think we talked about it a little bit. I'm gonna touch on it again. What should we look for as athletes? As fans, as sports fans, right? Like, because we talked about Jamarcus, right? And of course, that changed the whole rookie pay scale, right? Mm-hmm. Is it things like that the organizations are going to have to put in place to? Because what if you we're gonna talk about in a minute, but like you got this AAU complex, and these boys come in, and y'all know if they come in and they don't really get better at their game, the actual sport's gonna go down.
Well, I mean, the onus is not on the athlete. You know, they're coming out of the NCAA.
Okay.
They're coming out of not being paid at all. Right?
That's good, okay.
So the onus is not on the athlete. The onus is on the billionaire owner. If you hire the right people as your GM, I hire the right people as your coaches.
Then you get the right players.
When they interview these people, when they ask the right questions, and they see what kind of character the player has, and the work ethic the player has, they go. You know how many private investigators a billionaire can afford?
Right.
To go in
And they be
go in the neighborhood,
Right,
go
right.
ask some questions,
Right.
go find out about him. Is he gonna work? Is he gonna work when he's gonna show up on time? You can find all that out.
I love it.
So the onus is not on the player. Look, I ain't got to fool 32 teams. I got to fool one.
Right.
You brought up a good point though. You know why you brought up a good point? I mean, like they always say this pre-draft, no matter if it's NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, just one. You just need one team.
One team take a chance
to fall in love with you.
Yep.
And that's what that a guy played linebacker from Michigan. Last name was Mouton from Michigan. Dude went second round to the San Diego Chargers. He had a torn meniscus and bone cartilage. Got drafted in the second round. Give him at 1.2 guaranteed, because that's about the range for guaranteed money. Second round NFL. Give him at 1.2. He goes to San Diego. They find out he's damaged goods. He came and played. He came and practice, get on the field, but they masked it so well that San Diego fell in love with him. They didn't know he was injured at all. Give him out 1.2. Let me go chill. Let me go start a business or something. I'm good.
Yep.
Or I can just buy me a little condo on the beach in San Diego and start something. But yes. So
Which is
we're gonna start, like Dante said, we're gonna start blaming the owners and the organization.
Overlooking
the
it.
GM. Like the Lakers, get you some shooters, man.
Well, okay, so, all right.
God dang, I'm sorry.
Make us a turn right quick. All right, so let's say, all right, let's talk about Ben for a minute. So let's take Ben for a minute. Do you think they did a good recruiting job with Ben? Like, could you pass Ben up? Like, Ben went first overall, right?
yeah.
All right, could you afford to pass Ben up? In that year, it was Ben and who else? I don't know. Come on, y'all know you about to look it up.
It was Ben.
I don't know who came. I don't even know who came after him.
No, I think they could have.
But what Dante said,
It was somebody, Dante.
Would have been.
Hold up, boy.
But nah.
2016.
But for that reason, for that very reason.
Brandon Ingram, Jalen Brown.
Number one pick though.
They were 2 and 3.
No, what's his name? Tatum. Tatum was in that draft.
he was.
Really?
Yes. Jason Tatum was in that draft.
Wait, no.
2016?
No.
Huh?
No, couldn't be, because I'm looking at this list, boy, and I don't tell him he dropped past no 5. He was the next year. He had to be 17. Because one was Salmon, 2 Ingram, 3 Jalen Brown, Dragon Bender, I don't know who that is. Y'all know him? Okay. Chris Dunn, he's still in the league. Buddy Hill, Jamal Murray. That's a pretty good draft, bro.
Oh yeah, okay.
They were like back to like what you were saying.
No. They Philadelphia messed up that year too.
Right.
Because they was
Oh,
the
the
first
next
round.
year.
Because they drafted Markel Fultz.
Right.
Yeesh, y'all remember that.
They drafted him first overall.
That's
Jason
okay.
Tatum was second.
What's wrong with them and Shooters?
Because I'm about to say back to the organization.
Philly and Shooters, they
Philly
messed up Markel
organization,
Fultz.
yeah, like Philly was just desperate. Like they didn't know what they was doing.
They was trying to do the process.
That's about to put a
was
room on the
hurt.
board, man.
Embiid was hurt. Folks
Trust the
staying out.
process.
Yeah.
They're trying to trust the process. Which brings me to my next point. This is why I believe the draft should be got rid of.
Oh Lord. Wait.
With the NBA.
You say get rid of the
All
draft?
of them.
All of them.
Wait, you say, hold on. Let me make sure.
I can kind of understand.
Hold on,
the
wait,
NBA.
let me turn this down right quick.
I can kind of understand the NBA because it's getting kind of.
Are you saying no draft?
No.
For, like nobody drafting?
No.
No draft, no way.
You can still do the combines. You can still do the workouts and everything like that.
But no draft.
No draft.
So
Break-
signings.
Hey, break it down like fraction.
All right. So
Because I gotta see what we gonna do. If we don't have a draft,
Oh, it's
tell me why you don't want to have a draft and tell me what we're gonna do.
well, me from a player standpoint, I can choose. I should be able to choose where I want to work. When I came out of college,
Yeah, I agree.
I decided
I
that
agree.
I wanted to go apply for a job at such and such spot.
I'm gonna go devil's advocate on it.
All right. I think I know where you're gonna go first.
Okay.
The salary cap's gonna stay in place.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
No, the salary cap's gonna stay in place.
Right.
But me as a player, I can choose what organization. Like if I'm going to pick an organization that's being run well. We hear these stories all the time about these players getting asked these crazy tail questions at the combine about why your mama was a stripper or your daddy was hooked on crack. Why am I coming working with y'all? Why?
What you insulted me?
Would you insult me in the interview? I can choose now. If I chose, no, I'm gonna go work with the Patriots or Pittsburgh. These well-run teams. Minnesota Vikings, well-run organization. You know what I'm saying? Say what you. Well, recently they kind of look like they're falling apart, but like Dallas Mavericks, Miami Heat.
Right.
Like these are well-run organizations. I should be able to choose. Like, no, this is where I want to go.
Right. So you saying when they come out of college, then it's just a free-for-all like job interviews?
Absolutely. Everybody's
They doing that already anyway.
Everybody's still gonna find their spot because if you have a salary, the salary cap stays in place. You can only sign these players for so much money.
Yeah.
There's only so much money left in the cap for what you have. If your organization is being run right, then you'll have the cap space to sign these players.
True.
So flip it up.
How they work? How they look though?
I got another question. So here's my next question.
No.
So what if?
Everybody's looking for the TV show?
No, but what if?
How am I watch the draft? Oh, that's simple. What was one of the highest rated in the history of sports? The Decision, right?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I like everybody likes.
I like it. I like it.
Everybody likes to watch recruiting day when the players picking up their hats.
I like it.
It's the same concept.
So what do you do?
You still get your TV show. You can still sell it.
I do like a
So what do you do with
basketball.
what do you do? So okay. So with players, so I already know everybody gonna start like interviewing in Miami, and LA, and New York, right? So what about these teams that?
Small market.
Yeah, I mean like Orlando.
Not necessarily though. Like it depends.
Small market. Okay. Well, if I'm.
Or you think some people
if
gonna stay?
I go to
That's what they looking for.
if I go to a small market, I can secure the bag.
Right.
Right.
That's about
So
to
if nobody gonna go there, well, shoot, I'll go spend 5 years here and give me 24 mil right quick,
and Superman.
and then I'll resign for the Supermax, give me another 135.
Got a question. Well, you can't do that. That's gonna make them organizations work though.
Why shouldn't they?
You're
These
right.
These are the people that have MBAs. These are the people that are billionaires.
Right.
Why shouldn't they be working?
You're right.
See, this is what I don't understand. Like
100%.
we putting all the onus on the players to come in. You got to come in. You got to be good.
Right.
If I chose the organization I wanted to be with, then I would have came in and been good.
Sheesh.
So should like for
Okay,
the
that's another good point.
for the NFL teams though, I'm looking at it as I'm looking from an organizational standpoint. How can they sustain longevity?
I think it's a little different in the NFL.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, I get to choose what team I want to go to, but it's based off if that team, which he did, but that team has certain
But
needs.
was his decision wrong? Look where he
No. You did the right thing.
But the reason
Exactly.
I'm saying about the NFL because you have 53 people on a roster, and then you got another 8 to 10 people on practice squad. So from an organizational standpoint, how can you sustain success if you have certain needs on your team? So you guys want to come in and say, I'm out the draft, I want to go to the Atlanta Falcons. Well, how I'm going to get my foot in the door to say, well, look, I want to go to Atlanta Falcons. Are these teams recruiting you to say, hey, we want to interview specifically, or are you just going to request the interview?
You can request it. You can request it either way. I mean,
But like, say you play running back. Say you're a running back and you want to go to Atlanta Falcons. Right. And you play. Now I'm gonna go to Atlanta, but they don't need you.
right.
So
They
then
still tell me no.
all right.
And then I'm going to knock on the next
Like a job, like another job.
I could go and ask Jeff Bezos for his job right now. He tell me no. Okay, well I'll go ask Bill Gates. Like it's the same. It's the same concept. You know what I'm saying? You can still tell me. You know, no is a possibility. All of us been in the job. Well, most of us been in the job interviews.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we knew the possibility is there's gonna be we hiring you or we not.
Right. Right. Then you move on.
I get to a standpoint. I ain't totally there yet.
Well,
I get it. I get it.
I'm filling the holes.
I like the idea.
Right.
My next thing is now action, because my next thing is what did it take to get that done?
Oh, it'll take a lot.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the
It'll be a
play.
Herculean effort. I'm not gonna say this is I'm not gonna say this easily.
I'm trying to think, like, for me, like, personally, like, I would think.
I would love it though. I really
dope. I'm more on the standpoint to get rid of the combine.
Oh.
That's where I'm at. Like, start, like if we start somewhere, I think that can be a good starting point. Man, get rid of the combine. Like, stop having people run 40-yard dashes and doing these stupid dumb drills so coaches can come just enjoy a free vacation in Indianapolis. That's all it is. That's all it is. Go have fun and let loose.
Nice steakhouse.
Exactly. Great place to eat in Indianapolis. Shout out.
What about the guys that like using the combine like really help them? You know what I'm saying?
I don't care. You gotta take it. Like Dante said, these are billion. Now this is what they can do. These are billion-dollar organizations. You got, and especially with the way the media is now and technology, you can see so much film right now.
This is 31 billionaires and
At high school, like recruiting. We was coming back in 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005. So we ain't had no huddle counts.
No.
You better get to put on that film on that VHS and see what's up. And did the teams miss a beat? Did Miami Hurricane miss a beat? Did USC miss a beat? Did LSU miss a beat? Absolutely not.
Why?
Because the film don't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie. I can get a kid right now. I look at some of these high school kids at these camps, and God bless their heart. You ain't got no hips to play no DB in Division I football, or Division II, or Division III, or 5, 6, 7.
You said before we got on. You said, boy, you see them boys at the camp in these camps. You said you see them at camp. Would you tell them, Doug? If you could look at them and tell them.
If I could just look at them, I was looking where the camera at. I'm just looking in the camera right now, and I'm not being harsh, but in reality, we always talk about this, right? Having an identity outside of sports. You need another identity outside of sports.
What you gonna tell them, Doug? Go home.
I'm not gonna tell them to go home. You know, honestly, I ain't gonna tell them to go home. I'm just gonna tell them you need to focus on something else. And that's cool. But the thing about it, I know we joking right now, but the thing about it, like, I'm not saying don't pursue it, don't work hard at it.
No,
but you know what though? You know what? You're right. I'm tired of pacifying.
Because ain't nobody else gonna do it.
Ain't nobody else gonna do it. So now you gonna get heartbroken thinking that you can be the next Ray Lewis.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I used to hate being in church and people talking about, oh, you did good, baby. No, you didn't. You trash.
See,
you can't sing. Stop telling your child they can sing. They trash. So stop pacifying people, because the world will not listen to me.
It's gonna keep moving with
They're gonna keep moving with it, and they're going to tell you that you're trash. In the day of social media, they're going to tell you that Ben Simmons the other night caught so much flack on the internet, it's ridiculous. Let's not even talk about our tech group, okay? Let's just talk about online. He got so much flack because the world is going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's not pacify him. You know.
So this goes back to what I'm saying about the draft.
Turn, boy.
It won't pacify. Like, you go out, you thinking you high coming out of college, you think you didn't put together the right
get a job,
and you can't get a job, then maybe
you're not that good.
You're not that good.
Thought.
And that's okay.
Well,
that's
fine. And this too may be the fix for what we were talking about just now. That it may make a better quality of player.
Yes, because if the player goes, when I came out of college, you know what I'm saying? When I came out of college, had I been able to go straight into, you know, a major D1, you know, SEC preferably, collegiate track program and being a coach, you know how hard I would have worked coming out?
Right.
Okay, but
because this is what I want, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do.
Right.
Now,
ain't nobody taking it from
right. I mean, it's the same way. I mean, you signed with LSU, right? How hard did you go when you first put on that purple and gold?
I went extremely hard. Now, back to the point about players, going on job interviews, doing certain things. You were like, you know, if I go to a big time D1 school, I put myself in a good position. But now the flip side of it is this. What about these HBCU schools?
Yeah.
So now it's all about credentials.
Yeah.
So if the credentials from, if you want to get a job out of college, your credentials from Harvard may be a little bit more than your credentials from Mississippi State. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's how it is. So we want everybody on a level playing field now. So these smaller schools, one AA or Division II schools who can ball, but they don't have the credentials. How can they get in front of these billion-dollar organizations?
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
How many HBCU players got invited to the combine?
Not a lot, but that's.
No, zero.
Well, I take that back. But in the past few years, you got the kid from Indianapolis, who's been an All-Pro linebacker.
Right.
Can't think Darius Leonard. But you can't. But what's going to happen is you got to have at least some sprinkle here and there. If not, it's going to be zero.
Okay. Well, I'm saying when camp opens up, how many players in camp?
On the rock, probably like
About 100.
yeah, not even that much. Maybe like 90, something like
Okay,
that.
so 90 on the. If we got 32,
I'm seeing a business opportunity.
if I'm seeing, all right, I got 32 teams with about 90 to 95 to 100 people, times 32. If I can't get invited to one of them, it might not be for me.
Well, that's what Deion Sanders trying to do right now.
See, Deion, I think the effort is this. I think what Deion is doing can work, and he's going to make a pipeline. He's going to make somewhat of a small pipeline, I think, through Jackson State. Mm-hmm. But I do think that if he really wants to affect the HBCUs, the effort has to be across the board.
Absolutely.
With other athletes that may be a part of those alumni associations too. Mm-hmm. Because if you take, and he's not going to do it, I think he's passing right now, but if you take Aeneas Williams, went to Southern, and you talking about he the head coach at Southern, you know what I'm saying? That's a different type of conversation. He's Hall of Fame. These two Hall of Fame coaches that's coaching, you know what I'm saying? That's why O'Boy was so dope at Grambling. You know what I'm saying? Like these ideas of doing that concerted effort across the board. I think we talked about this before, all across our text, whatever. But I think for HBCUs, I think anything, basketball, any athletics for HBCUs, I think it's a concerted effort across the board that they just have to do. And I think families of athletes that are coming out have to kind of come together and make it a community thing. Because, you know, I think Massapequa son committed to HBCU, right? Right? Then that boy, I don't know if he said he's gonna do it or not, but that boy Mikey Williams, I think he said he's going to HBCU, right? Like if your top, 10, players out of high school, and I'm just talking basketball right now because maybe a little easier for basketball. Your top 10 players come out of high school, say they want to commit to HBCUs in different places, and I know there's gonna be money shifting and different things like that. But if they say they're gonna commit,
then the camera's gonna follow.
well, you have just created a league,
Right.
Because once again, it's about the viewers. It's about who can get that TV deal, right, Don?
Yep.
Right. And so once again, you've just created. Even if ESPN and none of them start calling overtime,
Right.
Bleacher Report, like you know what I'm saying, like these.
The internet is too vast.
It's too vast now, so the good old boys can't control it. So I think somebody needs to be thinking, not somebody, but somebody's need to be thinking. Some of these parents could really cash in on this, not just cash in, but really be a part of a big change for a lot of people after from the ground up, bro.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, if you want it, you gotta want it.
Yeah, right.
If you want it, it's out there. You can you can do it. Like, you can flip this thing up on his head.
It's just they throw so much. They just throw so much though. They throw them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean,
But them teams throw so much. Y'all saw the video of Nick Saban?
yeah, you can't. I mean, it's hard to compete.
You can't beat that, man. You about to take me out on your lake, man. It's like
It's hard to compete.
I'm riding whatever kind of car you
No,
want.
I'm not naive. I'm not naive to that.
Right.
I'm not naive to that, but I'm saying
Somebody got to decide to make a decision.
somebody is you got if you're gonna move, then make a step.
It's gonna have to take a special type of kid who just so sure of himself.
Kids.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a group of kids that's
and kids that don't follow, and
But I'm gonna
influential enough to have the kids follow behind.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what they doing. I'm gonna tell you what. A lot of these kids are friends too now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They homeboys, and I think in the next, 4, 5, maybe a little longer years, there's gonna be a group of kids that's gonna be that good and have that much pub on Instagram or whatever, and they're gonna come together and be like, we all gonna play over at such and such school, so y'all gonna have to put us on TV.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, what you gonna do? That's when this is what you talking about. The player, I think the power starts shifting
But see,
to the players.
This is why when we look at players that show promise and everything like this, this is why we call it talent.
Right.
Wherever the talent go, the money, the cameras, the fans, all that's gonna follow the talent.
Right.
They're not going out there watching no bad football game.
Nope.
Not going out there watching no bad basketball game. Not going out watching no bad baseball game. Like, they're gonna follow wherever the talent needs to go. Now, the glitz and the glamour helps attract talent. I'm not gonna lie, it's a moth to a flame. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if a kid maybe like back to the I Am Athlete podcast, if a kid decides that they're gonna make a change, and they find somebody who they trust with their future to make that change, to help them make that change, then they could change.
Right.
But see, you gotta have.
It's a bunch of moving parts.
It's a bunch of parts that gotta connect. They gotta hit it almost at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like back to you were saying though, about the organizations. I think that's the same thing about HBCU colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think if they really show like a good path to the NFL,
Right.
to these high school football,
That's pipeline, man.
like
It's pipeline.
I think that'll be like the main pool. It's like, all right, cool. Like say like Jackson State.
That's what Deion doing, man.
Yeah, like Deion, like you know what I'm saying, like he the best cornerback ever.
Right.
Like say he
He the goat at cornerback.
Oh,
Okay, I just want to make sure. I had to ask this man to make sure we were still somewhere on the same page.
Like say he do like a DBU like at Jackson State. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
And like he just start getting like all the best cornerbacks like in the nation or whatever. That might compound into like the best safety, the best linebacker.
Listen, and all he got to
You
do.
got dog defense.
He just did it though.
Oh, he did.
He had a camp here. Tyler Matthew there, Terrell Owens,
Yeah, he sure did.
Mario Davis.
Lamar Davis, all of them was there. Yeah.
Exactly, yep.
There you go.
Yeah, and all he got to do is get one of them boys into the league and let him ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Do it a couple times in a row, a few times in a row. I mean, now you didn't just started something.
They gotta be consistent. Like you have to have guys consistently come from HBCUs ball. Like the guy Darius Leonard, the linebacker for the Colts.
Right.
Was an all-pro as a rookie, all-pro his second year.
Right.
That's an absolute dog.
Right.
But it has to be on a consistent basis.
Basis.
What happens is you have somebody like Darius Leonard, then 5 years later, somebody else pops up. We can't have that. It got to be on a consistent basis.
Right. Who's the most recent? You got this guy right here, but who's the most recent superstar? HBCU, not Steve McNair. It can't be. Think it's somebody between them.
I mean, what was the cornerback? Cromartie a couple years ago for the Cardinals, the DB from Tennessee State. He was on the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's far few between, bro.
and see that and that's the thing. It's not in the box.
Terrence Armstead.
Teron
Armstead.
Okay.
See that, and that's the thing. Like
What are you playing at right now?
Saints.
Left tackle.
left tackle. And that's most of what you'll find some old linemen. You know what I'm saying? But in the boxes where the HBCUs really can't compete. Outside,
there's some dogs.
outside you got. In the box, I mean, D line, linebacker, offensive line. You can't compete with Alabama. You can't because you can't compete with they 4 strings. Right?
They're feeding them boys.
Right. So and so, but outside you can if you recruit the right, because you recruit the right kid, coach them up. But and that's the thing, man. Just be better at your job. That's all.
Well, I think that this being name, image, and likeness is going to help for those things too, because it doesn't. You can make money anywhere, so you can be at Jackson State and still be getting money. I think what I saw. I've been watching. I follow Deion. I've been watching him. He's been making a lot of visits to a lot of these businesses. They give them coaches so much freedom to do so much more stuff, man. But he make a lot of visits to some of these businesses and restaurants and things.
Right.
Because now I think he's just getting in contact with them and making that pipeline and that connection,
Right.
so he can bring a kid over there. You know what I'm saying? And bring somebody over there for some kind of promo or something like that. Even if you do a pack of kids, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a team dinner over there, and it'll be some. I think they're thinking of different ways. I'm excited to see some of the creativity that people have with that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that case, Dante. The Supreme Court just brought a case down.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court just had a ruling that colleges are no longer precluded from giving athletes a educational benefit, which they were before, but it was against NCAA rules before. To give. So educational benefit, basically. Well, in this case, basically, there's a college football player who requested a laptop.
Okay.
From the university,
right?
And they said it is against NCAA rules.
Sheesh.
And he was basically like, "Why?" I'm on scholarship. I'm on a scholarship here.
Right.
In order for me to keep my scholarship, I have to go to class.
Right.
You say I'm a student athlete.
And I don't have a laptop.
If I don't have a laptop, then provide me with a laptop so I can be better at school.
Right.
Now, so then before this ruling, it was against NCAA bylaws that they can do that. But now, given this ruling, they can. So, players can now get these type of benefits. They can request these type of benefits, and their colleges don't have to turn them down.
So what's some things that fall under that? Is your laptop?
I could think of all kind of things.
You think they're gonna pay for their school books too, right? That comes with a scholarship.
That's all
No, the books come in a scholarship.
Okay, all right.
Is anything outside of it. So,
Yo, what are they gonna start? They gonna start
so-
offering cars and stuff to these kids, man. Like, what is
if
that about to start? Is that about to start?
if I gotta get to class?
Sheesh, they about to go
You
there.
saw the thing from Oklahoma, like they recruiting strip these boys and standing in front of Ferraris and Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. They were taking pictures in front of them.
So here's my thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this internship, but it's in I go to school in Miami, but my internship is in Las Vegas, so I'm gonna need the private.
Ooh, Dante, you talking, but boy, I cannot wait. No, I just can't wait to see this because we've been waiting years. I ain't gonna lie, I've been waiting years to see this.
This is what I don't understand. Why do people think that these colleges are broke?
No, they're not. No.
Have y'all ever seen?
No, that's why, because the curtain. No, it's the curtain. It's the curtain.
Have you ever seen LSU's campus?
It's the curtain, bro. I'm telling you, it's the curtain.
That locker room.
As much, I'm not even talking about the locker room. I'm saying anytime you go up to LSU's campus, there's construction vehicles.
Yeah, it's
They
the
are
curtain.
consistently
It's the
putting
curtain.
up all brick buildings
It's
that are very nice on the inside.
It's the curtain, bro. It's the curtain, dog.
Why do you think that?
That's why they
Why
got
do
it
you
locked up.
think that-
You don't even think about their money.
That's what I'm saying. Why do you think these colleges are broke? They can afford all of this.
I know Rollers do it too a little bit.
All of
No,
it.
it's a curtain. It's a curtain.
It's like always announcing paying salaries.
Yeah, they put them, but they don't ever say what they brought in a year.
Let's see how much salary.
They'll list the top franchises, but they'll never give you those numbers. They'll never tell you those numbers. I don't even know if you can find them anywhere.
So stop letting these colleges, stop letting billionaires get away.
So Dante, you telling me
Just because you don't
dog,
understand.
this is about to be fun. You about to tell me this is going to be funny and nervous and scared at the same time. You telling me they about to start getting cars? Dion's already talking about it.
They can.
Yeah.
Because of this ruling, it's no longer against NCAA rules.
But I know they was going, and they almost gonna have to do this with this other ruling pass too. Like they go hand in hand almost.
So I mean, this is just a start. Because Justice Kavanaugh wrote you think it's a coincidence that video dropped right after this?
Right.
What video?
Oh, you didn't even see it.
You didn't see it too?
He was at the kid in the car, took him to his house, showed him around. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because before that'd have been kind of like edgy. I know they probably was doing it,
Yeah, they was doing it,
but he was like, put your phones in the bag.
You can bring the phone to his house. You can do it.
So this is my
You
thing.
couldn't do it, Doug. You know that for a fact.
Yeah. So this is why I'm saying now that this is this case has been decided, and it wasn't okay, for you folks that don't know, there are 9 Supreme Court justices. All 9 of them said that this was
they bought that life.
unconstitutional.
They bought that life. They bought that life. Man. I love it.
Now these are people from both sides, Democrat and Republican,
Bought that life.
and Central. They non-party,
Bought that
Philly.
life.
They all said that.
Who had a problem with this stuff? I'm trying to figure out because I know the. You talking about I know the colleges didn't have a problem. Who was it? And I think it's a lot of times in situations like this, it'd be a small portion of people that can vote on something that have a problem. Because I'm trying to figure out who had a problem with this money moving.
I'm gonna stay out of the racial stuff, but
Got
I
it.
think you understand.
No, I got it exactly, and that's exactly what I had in my head. It's a good old boy. I had it in my head, but now I love it. I love it. I do. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see some of the opportunities we're gonna have with some of these young kids, and I think to make better people. I love that statement last time. I think that some of these kids are going to make it better off in life too, even if they don't go to the next level.
But I mean, this connects back to your earlier conversation. You were talking about players coming out and losing all their money.
Yeah, right.
Maybe if I was able to actually meet somebody from Charles Schwab when I was in college,
Sheesh, right.
and during my summer internship that my school paid for.
Yeah, right. It's a different ball game, bro.
Then I could have made smarter investments. I'm still showing for camp.
Right.
Maybe. Well, let's make it a better opportunity.
You brought up a good point though, Dante.
And that's what they don't. That's what they don't want.
Yeah, you said
it.
who had a problem with this, but was it the good old boy system?
I love it.
But also, you brought up a good point. If I meet somebody from Charles Schwab, like Edward Jones, whoever it may be, and you teach me finances, I'm gonna be there for camp. Maybe that's the problem because now you taking
I'm
money.
not desperate.
I'm not desperate. You taking money out of their mouths to feed their families. That's the issue.
Yes.
And the problem is with football, especially college football, man. Like these coaches, it makes me so mad. If a kid is polished and the kid got his head on straight, they are more prone to attack that kid more than somebody that they think they need. For instance, LSU, the quote unquote problem child, somebody who's always in trouble.
Right.
Come here, Keontae.
Right.
Let me, you know what I'm saying? let me.
Joaquin. Joaquin.
Let me hug you. Let me put your arms around you. No, we don't want all that.
No, we cool.
Let me be you.
I already got a daddy. I already got a family. Yeah, I already got that. I'm good. I got a big brother.
I think now, man, like again, over and over again, we beat a dead horse. But you better take advantage of this opportunity. Like just don't let this pass you by. Like if you can get an internship at Charles Schwab, if you can go to Edward Jones, if you can go to Silicon Valley, go. And if you don't want to go to camp, don't.
If you have a real opportunity,
Hey, Darren Beckwith Foundation. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing some things.
Oh, all right, no.
I'm seeing some things. This is about to be popular. Yeah, I already know. You know. Yeah, I love it.
We heading out that way.
I love it.
And
I love it, bro.
and it's okay. But
Empowerment, man.
Empowerment. That's what they're scared about because they can't coach forever. I guarantee you they 401k. And I guarantee you they RA's looking real good right now. What yours look like? Because they know they can't do it forever. So you can't do this forever. Maybe get some knowledge, man. I get so aggravated with this, bro.
Bro. Look, I can't wait to start seeing the creativity. I can't wait to get involved with the creativity. I'm not as a business, so I got ideas for different people, and I think it's also going to be opportunities for other players to get in some places that they couldn't get into before too. There's a whole bunch of moving pieces that I love. I love it, bro.
yeah, so why? Okay, so let's say USC. Yeah, that's great. You got Will Ferrell on the sideline, Snoop Dogg on the sideline. Why can't I go learn how to make movies during the off season with Will Ferrell? Why can't you set me up with? You obviously have a relationship. Why can't I go learn how to make music with Snoop?
And some of them would love to do that, to be honest, because they're so into the game.
Right.
There's so a lot of other people in entertainment, whether it's music or movies. Sometimes they have this wish that they could have done sports. I mean, they almost
Athletes want to be rock stars want to be.
they're fanatics about it. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times those will be those are perfect connections, Dante. Those are perfect connections to places like that to get your hand in something else that could be longevity for you. That dude, He won an Oscar this year. But he played pro ball. I can't think of the boy's name. I can't think of it. I'm gonna look it up.
So that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it, man. Like this, and that's what the fear is. They don't want to lose them.
But the thing about it, for every kid you lose, guess what? They got another 16 kids coming behind that want the opportunity to play college ball. So you're really not losing. Like honestly, personally, I know I said that if you want to go to camp and if you got this internship and you find something else that you're passionate about and you want to go pursue that, that's okay. They are going to replace you regardless. It's a win-win situation for everybody because as soon as your senior year or whenever you're done playing college football and you step foot off that campus, I guarantee you your replacement was there 2 weeks before you step foot off. No, 2 years. Your replacement was already 2 years ahead of you before you step foot off the campus. Like our coach personally told us they recruited guys like us so they can emulate us for the next recruiting class. So they're gonna be straight. Like you said, these schools got money. They're gonna be straight. I promise you. Every kid may not want to go to Charles Schwab. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm saying, okay, you lost one. What you scared of? Coach a little work. The same work ethic that you trying to instill in me. You scared of it now?
they replace coaches.
Exactly.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So who's really scared while you out here trying to tell me that you're gonna send me back to the hood? As some coaches have
Exactly.
said.
Exactly. So coaches don't. If opportunity presents themselves as better for themselves, they jump ship. They go.
In TV.
Guess what?
In TV.
They do. They bring another coach. They bring another analyst. It's a revolving cycle. So I don't hear stuff about you taking food off my table. I don't hear anything. I'm glad you brought that up, Dante. It's a win-win situation for everybody, and I can't wait.
Yo, I think that what needs to happen, and on the level that you're speaking on, Doug, and even you, Dante, with y'all deal with a lot of athletes, the young athletes that's about to go to college, and high school about to go to college, different things of that nature. Starting from the levels that y'all working on, right? I think it's important that these kids start making some demands. These colleges make demands off of them for the grades, sometimes, and different things of that. So I think they should start making some of these demands. These parents should know to make demands that, all right, my child will come to your school if you get him an internship. You know what I'm saying? If you set him up, we want to talk to who's in your city.
Right.
What big company is in your city that can do something else? Because I want them to have.
If you go into a big enough school, just look up. They got advertisement all over.
No, straight up.
People's health.
Straight up. Straight up, man.
Optional.
Man, all day long. All day long. And y'all guarantee me an internship, a paid internship.
Right.
So we get paid now.
Right.
And then we'll see if we come in that way. Now you got opportunities. Now we're not just talking, oh, I got letters from such and such school. No, I got letters from that school and I got setups.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they go to these
They're
cities.
really saying like these college athletes that's coming into these universities, the community that's thriving around the university will bring benefits to those players.
Well, this is the
players.
Well, I mean,
bring entertainment, bring attention to the school, stuff like that.
you said the word. It's called
It's more like community.
It's university.
Yep.
It's taking a bunch of diverse people
And bringing them in one place. Yep. And then benefiting off that oneness of all of them. It's dope. And so now they're able to benefit.
Like right now, like it's mainly just like the player. Like everybody benefiting just off the players.
Listen, right now, and listen, you got these boosters. You got these boosters from these big companies. I know Shaw was paying money to LSU. You know what I'm saying? You got these boosters, all these big companies that do that. You got the connection already. Talk to them and get me in there. And I ain't talking about no weird just for the sake some photo op.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, like I have a question. One more question, and then we're gonna wrap it up because I know we've been rolling. One more question. So, how does this affect the? Does this affect? And this may be a dumb question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Does this affect the situation with agents and things now with them? Like, can they talk to agents earlier, or is it still the same rule?
I believe those rules are still in place, but all it's going to take now is a lawsuit.
To shake it up.
Because now that the court has made this ruling, and
It's about to open floodgates.
You didn't crack open,
Right.
cracked it open.
Pandora's box.
But here's the thing: everybody was like, "Man, this is just a chink in the armor of the NCAA." But if the whole system rotting underneath the chink in the armor,
Right.
you can knock out the beast.
It's just time, bro. It's just time. I want them to be able to get accountants at young ages, be able to get agents at young ages, managers, whatever you want to call it. They better get better trainers if they get better. You know what I'm saying? These and train individually for yourself. I love it, bro. I love it. Empowerment is the key.
And they need to be trained to get the right trainers.
Right,
be trained
right.
to get the right managers. Be trained to get the right accountants. That's equally as important. Actually, more important.
Yeah, bro. I love it. This has been the Evergreen Podcast, y'all. Episode 3. It's been dope. We didn't get to half the stuff we want to talk about. We're going to be back, though. We got next week. So this is episode 3. This is DM. This is Doug, Dante, Dash, a.k.a. And we out here. This Evergreen Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Or not, it doesn't matter. We're still going to keep doing what we're doing. Tell somebody about it. Go to it on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Rate it, all that good stuff. And we will see y'all next time. How can I finesse that to my benefit? So we were talking about LaMelo, right? Mm-hmm. But how can I finesse that? Okay, we just talked about Eli. We didn't even go into it, right? But how Eli really kind of finessed it because they had to pull his Mannings, you know what I'm saying? But you finesse to the point you said you wasn't gonna go to this team, whatever, right? But how do you? If I say I don't want to be a part of the draft, right? Don't. I'm not declaring for the draft, but I'm graduating college, so all my eligibility is gone. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm withdrawing, whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. But I'm not declaring, but I'm of age to get into the NBA and NFL. Mm-hmm. What are the loopholes that I could take to get around that and then still be able to get into the NBA? Because they're signing 10-day contracts, G League stuff, all that stuff.
You can sign as an undrafted free agent.
I don't even think ain't really no loopholes you got to get around.
Somebody need to do that, bro.
Because, for instance, situation like I said, undrafted free agent in the NFL, you get to choose where you want to go. You got a bunch of teams that call you. I'm gonna go here because it's the best situation. It's not a lot of linebackers or running backs or the roster. That's where I want to go.
Right.
Lyle Collins, LSU,
right?
Did not get drafted because of whatever. Right. He didn't get drafted, but guess what? The reason he did not get drafted, we had an opportunity to choose, you know what, I want to go to the Cowboys and got one of the richest contracts as a rookie ever got as an undrafted free agent. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so people don't really talk about that, like wait a minute, this dude.
So do the draft have the rights to you at first though? Because I think I read something.
That's why I say you declaring for the draft.
So I don't have to declare for the draft.
Well, if you're a senior, your eligibility is up anyway. So you ain't declaring. You just like,
you're not declaring for the draft. You're not.
Why nobody done this shit?
Just go. All you have to.
I guess they just trying to get a big bag. I guess the glam is still hype. Yeah, I guess still the hype.
Well, that's what. See, this is. Everybody builds up to this big TV show where we're gonna show you entire.
And it's been trash too, man.
And we're gonna show you. Now we're gonna show inside your house. And I don't know why people would want that. Anyway.
Do a slow motion story about your childhood.
Yeah, we're gonna
shot in your ankle.
Exactly. I don't want none of that. I'm gonna just show up.
But I'm telling you, it's about to happen. Yeah, it's coming.
Like these kids. Just say Trevor Lawrence look at the Jacksonville Jaguars and be like, nah. I'm gonna go check out the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees just retired. Sean Payton is a hell of a play caller.
And you know what? They'll make a way for it too.
And I'm gonna just sign I'm gonna sign an undrafted free agent, but I know I'm gonna get that bag because I'm gonna go bang them up
It's gonna take a rich kid. It's gonna take a rich kid to do it. I'm gonna be honest.
Like you said earlier,
I think gonna take a rich kid to do it. Because like LaMelo could have done it. LaMelo could have not declared for that draft, and any team would have got him. Every team would have got him and paid him what he wanted.
Right.
Any single one of them.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna take somebody to do that and just not kill it. Because I think where they're getting them at right now is the hype of the show and the upfront bag. You know, which it really ain't a lot in the NFL right now because the rookie thing, even rookie in the NBA. I'm saying a lot, you know, it's still a lot, but I think some of these young kids that's coming up.
Pay scale or anyway. So go. If I'm not gonna get the $60 million bag that they used to give me for
I might as well play for who I want to.
I might as well go play for who I want to.
Bro, I love it. I love it, bro.
I'm on a rookie wage scale. I'm gonna get paid the same thing as anybody else.
That's true. That makes sense now.
So what I'm
It's gonna take-
why
it's
do
gonna
I have to, why do I have to go and shake Roger Goodell's hand?
It's gonna take a player.
No draft.
No, I'm with it. I'm with 100. Look, I'm with it 100%. And I was saying that. I was saying skip the draft because to me, that does exactly what you want to do. And once again, now we're talking again.
Free market.
Now once again, we're talking again. Now all it takes is enough players coming out to get together. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, y'all. All it takes is enough players coming out of college to say, you know what, we all supposed to go to draft this year. We all got numbers this year. Let's get together and let's skip this month.
And guess what it's gonna do? We kind of, on this podcast, we kind of eradicated or erased a buzz.
Right.
But in this instance, I think it's going to completely erase buzz. You know
Right.
why?
Uh-huh.
Because now you get to choose the best situation for yourself. If Jamarcus Russell had an opportunity to go to a different organization besides the Raiders, who was already a terrible organization.
We was talking about that earlier, Trail.
Terrible organization.
But you go to an organization.
Yeah, like to the organization.
Like,
So now that takes the onus off the players to come into a crappy situation and be good,
And pressure.
and puts the pressure on the organization to be a better organization.
Right.
Where these players want to come to your organization.
Absolutely.
When they come in and meet your GM, does he know a lot about the salary cap? Can he work with them? Can you got the right coaches for the way that the style that I play? Like
That makes a difference.
why is the onus on a 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old and not on a 40, 50, 60-year-old to be good
Right.
at their job?
Bro, I love it, bro.
It's like-
I've never understood that. Like,
It's almost like-
Well, you know, it's the same people. It's the same people that didn't want to open up the NCAA too. They're the same people. Like they may be the same people. They may have different company names, but they're the same demographic of people. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to lose control. The same thing with any area.
Yeah.
Politics, religion, all that, education, it's all the same. It's a good old, and they do not want to lose the control, bro.
Yep.
Because they want to, but it's too late. And I knew we're old enough. We grew up with the internet.
Yep.
We remember when the internet got you,
Yep.
and it was like, what is this? We didn't know it was gonna be like this. They have opened up a box. A few years ago, remember they tried to monetize. They tried to monetize something on the internet, but it was like you couldn't do it. I mean, we still do it with, bandwidth and who you get it from, but they were trying to monetize everything about it. You can't do it. It's like trying to bottle up a stream, bottle up a river. You can't bottle a river up. You can't do it. It is what it is.
Right.
I love it, and it's gonna take a group. I'm telling you, it's gonna take a group of them to come together and say, you know what, we're gonna skip. Watch this. I go as far as the point to say this. You can, bro. See, I love this stuff, bro. By the way, it's 103 to 105. Trae Young got 41. It's 103, 105, like 3 minutes left in the fourth.
He's good.
103, 105, the Bucks.
I got Hawks in the final.
Hey, but I'm even go as far as saying these young dudes can come together and start a business.
Straight up. Right.
Let's start a corporation. Oh man, bro. So if people could work together, bro, like there's so many opportunities because you can come out there and do your own shoe deals, bro.
I think that's the part of it. Like, we're gonna do these last 15 minutes. This is what we're gonna cut up and put out.
Yeah, no, for real. I think so, cause man, this is huge, bro. And then if they got
So
together,
all that being said, like, can we agree that LeVar Ball is not as crazy as the media was trying to make it?
nope,
Y'all know,
never was.
Y'all know what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It never was. They just was playing that thing back and forth. And I think that
See,
LeVar coming, depending on them boys and their mindsets,
he didn't.
LeVar come back around with this thing with them because
LeVar did his job.
No, LeVar had the ideas. LeVar didn't have the temperament or the funds to make it happen.
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of people that came behind. Like the G League is making it happen right now.
Absolutely.
Yep.
G League doing exactly what he said. What he said he going to do.
Exactly what he did.
Three of the top 5 players that they were discussing on ESPN, coming out, all went to the G League and no one got paid.
200K a year.
Yeah, because I saw the list of drafts. I saw the list of drafts. That's crazy. 'Cause I saw the list of the draft, and it was like the Cunningham boy, little boy, and then the third one they had the college and they had the G League. I was like, I didn't understand. I was like, G League, what you talking about? But now I get
The G
it.
League straight out of high school and got paid $200,000.
Wow, I love
Get
it,
moms out the hood.
bro. I love it.
Yep.
I love it, bro.
You know what?
I'll be my revolution,
A point about getting miles up the hood. I think that's another narrative that needs to change as well.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think everybody, every black kid ain't come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, every black kid is not coming out the hood. I was that narrative.
No, they're not.
So let's stop that. LaMelo, they come from the hood.
No.
Show did.
So
All Lonzo.
none of them did. So we get so.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like every black athlete go through certain struggles. No, every black athlete don't.
Right.
Everybody's parents in here was successful and raised us the right way. So that narrative can change too. Just like the NFL draft, I'm glad they ain't tell no side story this year. Cause I swear I was gonna fly to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hey, think about the situation thing. Like we kind of saw that. Like remember the draft class, like Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar, and like everybody, oh yeah, Lamar, he needed to be a wide receiver and all this. And then
I remember that.
2 years later, like he was the last pick in the first round, but the Ravens wanted him and quarterback.
Right.
And then he pretty much the best quarterback out of that class.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that had the most success.
yeah.
So that's why I'm happy.
Yep.
Alright, I just want to talk about that.
That was the Believe the Line. Green podcast, we had to Believe the Line out.
Yeah, we had to do it because
We wasn't done yet.
yep, it is. That was a good combo, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, we said the Bucks won?
Yeah, the Bucks.